The Tiyanak, the cursed cry of the forgotten child, Philippine urban legend. You're walking home one rainy night, and through the howling wind, you hear it. The cry of a baby, helpless, alone, each sob pulling you deeper into the shadows of the forest. You take a step forward, but stop. Because old folks say, if you ever hear a baby crying at night where no baby should be, don't follow it. That cry might belong to something else, something hungry, something called the Tiyanak, the curse of the unnamed. Long before cities and bright lights, the Philippines was a land of spirits, where every tree, every stream, every mountain had life and soul. And in those early days, there were babies who died before they could be baptized or given names. Souls pure and confused, trapped between the world of the living and the divine. They were neither blessed nor buried properly, and so they wandered. Their innocence began to fade, replaced by sorrow and then by rage. From that sorrow they transformed. Small bodies with twisted faces, tiny limbs with claws, and a cry that echoed through the night like a curse. That was the birth of the Tiyanak, the cursed spirit of the unbaptized child, a creature that lures the living with its pitiful sound and strikes when kindness draws near. The village encounter. There was once a farmer named Mando, a kind man who lived by the edge of a thick forest in Batangas. One night, while returning from his fields, he heard a baby crying near the riverbank. Without hesitation, he ran toward the sound, calling out, "Anak! Nasaan ka?" He found a small bundle wrapped in cloth lying among the reeds. The baby looked up at him, tiny, trembling, silent now. Mando smiled, whispering, "Don't cry, little one." But then, the baby laughed. Its eyes turned pitch black. Its mouth stretched wide, revealing sharp, blood-stained teeth. The creature leaped, sinking its claws into his neck. And before Mando could scream, the Tiyanak vanished into the dark. At sunrise, villagers found him lifeless, a look of terror frozen on his face, and a single tiny footprint burned into the soil beside him. From that day, no one in the village ever followed a baby's cry again. And old healers taught their children, if you ever hear it, turn your clothes inside out. They say it confuses the Tiyanak, making it lose its power to track you. The many faces of the Tiyanak. As time passed, the story changed. In the Christianized Philippines, priests called it the spirit of unbaptized infants. In the older pre-colonial days, it was said to be the child of a diwata and a human, born out of forbidden love. Others believed the Tiyanak was the cursed offspring of a woman who died in childbirth, its soul too bitter to rest, forever crying out for the warmth of its mother's arms. In every version, one truth remained. The Tiyanak was never just a monster. It was a reflection of loss, of forgotten compassion, of guilt buried in the soil of neglect. The lesson behind the legend. The story of the Tiyanak reminds us that monsters are not always born evil. Sometimes they are made by abandonment, cruelty, and the failure to love. When we turn our backs on those who cry for help, we give birth to our own demons, echoes of our mistakes, crying out in the dark, waiting to be heard. The Tiyanak's cry is not just a warning of danger. It's a reminder to care, to name what is forgotten, to show compassion before sorrow transforms into something darker. So if you ever hear a baby's cry in the middle of the night, pause. Not every sound is meant to be answered, but every story is meant to be remembered. The Tiyanak weeps not just for life, but for the love it never had. If this story moved you or gave you chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more tales of Philippine urban legends and forgotten spirits. Because as long as we tell their stories, they'll never be truly lost.